thinking about something this morning. It's certainly something that I think about regularly. It's, you know, it's very, how am I gonna say this? It's stressful to have a lot of powerful people like know who I am. It's pretty stressful to have even one powerful person know who you are. I will say, like, when was it? It was the fall of 2009. Yeah, it was late in the fall, I think, of 2009, when I realized that the president knew who I was. I had a very tough time that night in particular, and I was like, oh my God, the president knows who I am. I mean, just constantly that feeling of, and he wasn't hostile to me at that time. It was several months before things got to be really bad. But just this, I had this feeling, and it was not the first time I had this feeling, or the last time I had this feeling, of just like really, like being on the edge of a precipice. I mean, just something that was just I just felt like it was just all way too much for me. And it all happened pretty quickly. And it was just too much. And it kind of continues to be too much. Although, oh, great, excellent. No, yeah, it kind of continues to be too much, although there's so much in my daily life that is like minute-to-minute stuff I have to deal with. I mean, shelter life, you really do, a fight is pretty much ready to break out at any time. And people are always arguing, people are always upset. And there's just a lot, and there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do just to get your basic needs met every day. You have to kind of just stay focused. You really just kind of you can't just like disintegrate. You can't really spend a lot of time sitting around thinking about all like the bigger picture really all that much. Although I do sometimes, I've gotten more used to it than I was. But it is very stressful. It's very stressful to have, like, you know, people in government really know who I am. It is. It's stressful. I think, I don't know. I mean, maybe there are people for whom it would not be stressful. Either people who kind of grew up in that environment anyway, or who are not taking it seriously for what it really is and what it really means. Because I'm kind of in the middle, you know. I mean, it's like I'm kind of, you know. I mean, I'm intelligent. That's one thing. But intelligence really is not really enough on its own. And sometimes I can veer off into, you know, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. That's kind of hard. And I've tried to recognize that, you know, and just kind of not take on too much. You know, I mean, I have some loose cannon tendencies. I try not to indulge them too much. Being homeless does not help. Does not help because everybody has those tendencies. A high percentage of the homeless population also has a tendency, which is why they're homeless. And it really is a lot. It is a lot to deal with. It's very stressful. And I try to take responsibility for, you know, what I'm putting out there. But I'm also still just a person, you know. And my life is really pretty difficult. Although things seem to be things. I think things are as good as they can be right now. You know, I mean, I've gotten into a training program, and I'm, you know, working on my housing and have supported people for that. And so certainly, you know, just as far as like the stuff that can be good is good. And then the other stuff is still really painful. You know, the whole video thing and being stalked and harassed and all of that is really hard. And then of course there's just kind of like the general stress of really important people knowing who I am. I suppose there are probably people who from the outside look at that and they think, oh well, I'll just, you know, isn't that cool? She can publish a page, you know, and somebody important in government on the other side of the world can read it and know who she is and even say something about it in some way. And it's like, but it's actually a big responsibility to have that. You know, because I also talk about really serious issues. I mean, it's not like I'm just trying to entertain people all the time. So it's hard. It is to a certain extent. Yeah, it really is.